Ever since Republicans in the House of Representatives passed their big, beautiful bill last week with cuts to Medicaid, the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, and all kinds of other things, they have been insistent, along with Donald Trump, that no, there's no cuts to Medicaid in this bill, you crazy people. We're not doing that. That would be, political sudden death, basically. So totally no cuts. The liberals, the left, the Democrats, everybody is lying about this. We do not call for these cuts to Medicaid. And then, of course, Trump crypto advisor David Sachs went on the All In podcast, where he openly, perhaps accidentally, however, admitted that, yeah, this thing is going to cut $880 billion from Medicaid. Here's what he said. This bill cuts $880 billion from Medicaid over a decade. It doesn't get much more clear than that. I'm not paraphrasing him. I'm reading his exact quote. This is a top advisor, David Sachs, Donald Trump's crypto advisor, telling a podcast that, yep, this thing cuts $880 billion from Medicaid over the next 10 years. So this one statement from this Trump advisor completely contradicts everything else that Republicans have told us about the big, beautiful bill. No, it doesn't call for these cuts. But here's the thing, and I explained this over at Ring of Fire, but I want to make sure that everybody understands this. The bill does not say cut $880 billion from Medicaid over the next 10 years. It doesn't say it. So Republicans were technically not lying when they made that admission. Except they also were lying because it does actually call for the $880 billion in cuts. So you may be wondering now, like, you said it doesn't call for it, but then you said it does call for it. Exactly. Because Republicans used verbal linguistic trickery to call for the cuts without actually having to call directly for those cuts. What the bill specifically does is it directs the House committee that oversees Medicaid funding to find $880 billion worth of things to cut. Okay? It's that simple. It doesn't say cut it from Medicaid, but you're giving it to the people who can only cut from Medicaid. So all it says is find $880 billion worth of cuts to the people who can only cut things from Medicaid. So that's what it does. And that's how Republicans designed it so that they could make this very plausible lie that, no, we didn't put that in the bill. We just directed the committee to find the cuts. So again, it calls for it without actually calling for it so that Republicans can go out there and lie to you. David Sachs apparently did not get the memo, was on a different page of the talking points, and just openly, freely admitted it. This bill is a disaster. And if you think Republicans in the Senate, who have put up, a little bit of objection to the bill, if you think they're going to save you, you're kidding. Because the objections that Republicans in the Senate are having to the bill is not because of all the cuts, it's because there's not enough cuts. So once this bill gets through the Senate, it could actually call for even more cuts to these social safety net programs. Because people like Rand Paul and Ron Johnson are like, hey, I don't want to pass this because it doesn't reduce the deficit enough. Which means we have to make more cuts. So they're not mad that it's cruel. They're mad in the Senate that it's not cruel enough. Forcing people on Medicaid that if you don't work 80 hours a month, you can't have your Medicaid. If you do not go get this job that may not even exist where you are, and of course that is the problem, you can't have it. Here's the thing, folks. Less than 8% of people on Medicaid are of working age, but not working. Some of those folks are, in fact, retired. Some of them have exemptions. Some of them look for work every day and cannot find it. They're actively trying, but the jobs are simply not there. And those people are going to lose their health care because of this Republican bill. And we know that Because every now and then you get a person in this administration who doesn't get the memo and accidentally tells us the truth. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.